Saturn return doesn't start when Saturn enters the same sign that you have it in your natal chart, just like your birthday doesn't start when the sun enters the same sign that you have it in your natal chart, okay? The reason you feel Saturn the whole time it's in a certain area of your chart is because it's in that area of your chart, and it could be aspecting other things. And because of that, it could be challenging at different times as well, based on your natal placements. Again, we always have to take into account the full scope of your birth chart. This is exactly what I teach you how to do in my astrology courses, is how to read and apply transits to understand what's going on for you. Saturn return doesn't last 3 years. It just doesn't. The max time I have seen Saturn return actually last for people looking at the exact degrees of Saturn and what's going on is 12 months, a year, not 3. What typically else is going on is other stuff, especially for my generation. If you were born in the mid-90s, you have your Pluto sextile Pluto right before and during your Saturn return. That lasts 3 years because Pluto moves so slowly. And towards the end of your Saturn return, you're probably also going to have Uranus opposite your natal Pluto, which is rough. But that is not Saturn return, unless it's happening at the same time as Saturn is on your natal Saturn, which is how I classify Saturn return. When it gets within we're going to say 5 to 6 degrees. When Saturn starts to make a tight orb with 5 or 6 degrees away from your natal Saturn, that's when your Saturn return starts. And then it has a peak date. Could have up to 3 depending on Saturn's retrograde cycles. But either way, doesn't last more than a year. And like I said, yes, you're still integrating the lesson in general of Saturn in whatever house it is because it's still in that house. But that's not your Saturn return. Like for me, my Saturn return peaked in March of 2024 and then it didn't happen again. It got close, but it didn't happen again. And once it was over, I wasn't feeling it anymore. I was still integrating lessons of Saturn in my 6th house, sure, but it wasn't my Saturn return anymore. There was other shit going on for me. I had Uranus opposite my Pluto. It also happened to be on my south node, opposite my north node. I had Saturn square my natal moon. That was rough. That was worse than my Saturn return, honestly. So again, there can be other stuff that's happening that's causing you to feel a certain way about what's going on with Saturn, but it's probably not your return. So look at your chart and let me know how that resonates with you in the comments.